Thomas, it's up for grabs now.
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira.
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it. Well,
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry.
champions.
Good evening to Arsenal Lounge and Friday Fan Cam. Man, there's loads to discuss. I'm sure everyone's going to be sort of asking loads of questions. But before we go any further, first introduce today's guest, and I've been looking to get him on for a little while. He's doing some big things at the moment. Yeah, he won't stop. He's everywhere. Albert from Albert JTV. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Les, a pleasure to finally meet you and actually get on the channel with you and share the platform with you. So much love, man.
He starts every channel you go on. You start like that, isn't it? You drop that line on me, but I like it. It's nice, man. Thank you. But look, there's loads to discuss, and we're going to be sort of dropping the link in as we do always. So we don't know what you're going to get, bruv. So I hope you're ready for this. Like, you know,
yeah. I know you well, man.
yeah. You just don't know, yeah. So don't blame me for anything that happens from here on, yeah. So, firstly, we'll just talk about the Europa. Get straight into that because I'm sure people are still sort of carrying the emotions from yesterday over. I actually got up feeling a bit strange, like in the sense of I was in a good mood. Yeah. So I don't know what happened, but we had the usual heart attack moments and stuff. So I'll let you crack on first and tell me how you saw it. I'll be interested to hear that, and I'm sure lots of people are going to say their own thing going along.
Yeah, you know what it is, Levs. Sort of when the team lineup come out, because I was on a live stream before the game, an hour before the game, and I was thinking when I heard and I heard rumors of that William was in the starting lineup, I kind of took it, I had a partial look, and Twitter was going into meltdown. But sort of him aside, I wasn't too sort of disappointed with the team. What I wanted to see, Levs, was a bit more continuity. And what I mean by that is have a settled back four, ideally, but that won't happen with the fullbacks. That always seems to change. But at least have the centre backs just for these. I would say the 3 cup finals coming up in terms of yesterday's game and the next 2 games. Have a settled centre back pairing. So that was the pairing I thought it would be with Luiz and Gabriel. I know there's a bit on social media, and I don't know what you thought, that people were quite surprised that Gabriel started over Mari, for example, which I was a bit surprised, mate, to be fair.
Do you know what? Like, yeah, we were kind of not expecting it, but at the same time, for me, he's my preferred. Like in a 2 centre backs in a team, he's my preferred one of the 2 at least. I actually like the idea of Mari and Gabriel, but we'll always keep hearing about these left foot or right foot business. So I can't really go into it too much. But yeah, Gabriel's my preferred centre back when he's on form. But I think what happened is he returned and he had a little shaky spell, didn't he, when he came back, and everyone started going, oh, maybe he's not as good as we thought, or maybe he's had a good season. But we also got to understand that he's gonna be swapping teams around. He's gonna be making changes with so many games in a short space of time. So for me, nothing was a surprise, really, bro, because like I knew the only surprise was to me like who was going to fit where on what days. Yeah, but we knew he was going to chop and change. He had to. We got a lot of injuries, coming up all across the leagues. Everyone's getting them. So if we get 1 or 2 bad ones, I'd not rather think about it. So, Gabriel, for me, I was happy to see him on there, and for obvious reasons. Now you see how it turned out.
yeah, same here. Like I was a bit surprised by some of the reaction, but I've said it a million times on my channel and other people's streams. If any Arsenal fan wants to sit here and be honest and say that they know what Arteta's going to do, they're lying. I've got no idea what he's going to pick each week. I might lucky to get 6 out of the 7 or players out of 11 he picks, but you're lucky if you know. But as I said to you sort of before we came on stream, I thought we was pretty comfortable. And sort of our last few games, mate, it's a case of are Arsenal going to press the self-destruct button like they normally do. And the problem with that is with the self-destruct button with Arsenal, it's the experienced players that are doing it.
You know what? It's repeat offenders. Your Mustafis are gone now, at least, and then he's got. But this is the thing. He has to slowly get them out, don't he?
Yeah, it's true. But that's what's annoying. You could even slightly understand if it was the youngsters who have come into the team and they might make the odd mistake, but it's the same experienced guys. And You know what, Les? We could have been up. We could have been 2 goals up in the first 5 minutes. Odegaard had that great chance. It was almost a carbon copy of the Pepe chance against Burnley. It's exactly the same type of chance.
Well, I was going to say, whilst you've reverted back very quickly, I don't want to interrupt you, bro, while you're chatting, but you could say that about us in the last 2-3 games. Burnley game, we were all over them, should have won it, right?
Yeah.
The Benfica game, when we were all over them and then made it really difficult for ourselves in the second leg. First leg, we should have ended at 3 or 4-0.
Yeah,
and then now, look, we were in danger of doing it again with Olympiacos and then hitting the self-destruct button. But we got lucky this time around.
Yeah, it's mad, Les, because we've shifted from talking over the last however many months, Arsenal don't create enough, Arsenal not creating chances, the strikers are not getting the chances, but we're getting the chances now. We're just not finishing them on a ruthless and consistent basis.
But I don't get it. We can't get everything right at the same time, can we? Like, it's like the defending. Defending's terrible, but we're scoring loads of goals. If only we could sort out the defense. And this was when obviously Aubameyang was on fire the previous seasons. If we could just sort out our defense. Now we start sorting out our defense, and slowly we have problems where Aubameyang's goals dry up and everything dries up. And then now, we had the issue with the number 10. We're not creating them. So then we go, Emil Smith-Rowe's finally come in, that starts clicking. Then we go and get Odegaard, and we've got some functionality, we can swap and change. But now we're not finishing our chances.
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, sorry, Lebs. It's mad.
It makes no sense, bro. They're quality players up there, no?
Yeah, it's a weird season. You know what I mean, Lebs? What are we, 3rd best defensive record in the league, apparently? Which doesn't, if you look at Arsenal aesthetically pleasing, you'd be like, how does that even remotely make any sense?
With that defense, how does it make any sense? So when you look at the goals we've conceded, we gift goals.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the difference. We gift goals. Teams set up with us, in my opinion. The lesser teams even go, you know what? We're not going to get the ball, but just wait. They're going to give us a chance. Just hang in there. If we can just hang in there, we'll get a chance. Yeah, and that's what they're doing.
And that's mad to think. Like, teams are generally probably thinking that you're right. Like, so you saw in the first half with the David Luiz error that almost led to a goal. I mean, if the guy squares it, then they score. It's but
schoolboy turning inside. Why?
Yeah, you don't do that. And we got the goal, mate. Great strike. You can talk about the goalkeeper, but I thought it was a good strike from Odegaard. I actually thought he did all right in the first half. I was kind of disagreed with what Martin Kieran was saying about him in sort of the halftime break. But I thought he did okay. I didn't see anything to say that he was, not getting. I thought Partey struggled, to be honest, mate. I don't know what you thought. I thought he struggled yesterday.
I don't think he's physically fully there yet. We're that type of team. We're so unfortunate. We'll go and get somebody, and then they'll get injured, and then we're so desperate for them. We keep trying to bring them back, and then we've already done it once. We brought him back too soon. He broke down against Spurs, right? Yeah. Remember that? Yeah, and we all know what happened there, right? Yeah. And then so obviously, there's been a couple of times he's not fully fit. This league is so demanding. You can't get away with it. You might be able to get away with it in La Liga where it's not as physical, but here you get found out. So, but I also believe he wants to play him against Spurs. So he was going to bring him off anyway. I personally think he's planned that. I don't know. I hope he plays against Spurs because for me, we're different. Even though he didn't have his best game yesterday, he was still very noticeable when he came off. When he replaced him and when Ceballos came on and we went lightweight, that was the period we struggled. And then when he brought on El Neni, then it shored it back up a little bit and we got away with it. So he's learning on the job and he's, like you say, he's making mistakes along the way. So I'm just happy we got away with
it. Because when I think when Ceballos came on, I don't know, you could say it's a mixture of maybe just when subs come on, they struggle to get into the swing of the game because when he came on, he had an immediate chance to put Aubameyang through, but he messed that pass up. And then obviously Leno has put him in the mire. And I couldn't understand it because Gabriel's got the ball levs, right? Leno's made the angle to the right. David Luiz is probably no more than 10 yards away. That to me was the obvious pass. I mean, you had the still shot at halftime when you saw him give the ball to Ceballos. Ceballos has got like a box around him. You can't give your midfield player who's got his back to almost back to play.
It's mad. It's mad because it only happened last week. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's mad because you've seen it happen once.
Yeah.
Surely the first one Leno kind of got away with, in my opinion, because Luis, when that ball was played, when Xhaka was receiving that ball, he should have never taken that touch.
Yeah.
Maybe some have said when we was on the show with Lee the other day, it was a dry pitch. It was a bit bobbly. They purposefully didn't wet the pitch, and he was a bit unsure. But then, even then, once that happened, he could have still cleared it. He could have still got rid of it if he thought the angle was closed down. But this one is definitely on Leno. And then, I know what they're trying to do. I can see what they're trying to do. They want to commit 3 players towards them, take them out of the picture with one ball, right?
Yeah.
But this isn't the way to do it, clearly. So,
I mean, for the people that say, "Oh, you should, plan out from the back." I get the plan out from the back thing. That's not really the issue for me. It's your implementation of how you do it. And I couldn't. As a midfield player, I think I would have wrung Leno's neck to say, "Why are you giving me that ball?" But yeah, mate, we're the gift that keeps on giving, unfortunately. And I didn't know at the time, Levs, that I think we have it's 9 consecutive games now without a clean sheet, and it doesn't help when you're throwing in clangers week in, week out.
Well, it's like Arsenal. It's like basically, I keep seeing some people tweeting this. Is Arsenal going to beat Arsenal today? Is the tweet that I keep hearing, and it's ironic, and it's so true. It's either that or we get a terrible VAR decision. Like either way, either we're going to screw it up or they're going to make sure they screw it up for us. Because but let me just say hello to a few people in here, bro. So like Enrico, how you doing, bro? I'm going to see you in a bit. And Seb, how you doing, Sebastian? You got AQ in the house with big up, Lev. Where's Don Pablo? Don Pablo is in hiding. He was meant to come today, but he let me down last minute. But when you're Don Pablo, these things happen. You never know what's happening. Norwegian Gunner, have a good weekend, Gooners. I hope so, bro. Sebastian, Mikel Arteta needs to find that balance between defensive structure and creativity in attack. Here's a question, and I can throw this at you from Charlie Sweeney. Do you think Odegaard will be good enough?
It's a good question, just straight to the point, isn't it? I see. You know, it is, Levs. What with me, I'm cautious, just in the sense of when I look at example when we Danny Ceballos came for the first season loan, right? He had the wonder game at home at the Emirates against Burnley. The Arsenal fans are singing Spanish songs and sign him up, and I'm like, just relax. This is one game. But Odegaard, you can see, Levs, you can see. I mean, I wouldn't advise people just to go buy YouTube clips for footballers. Trust me, we've seen that mistake many, many times. But I can see why Arsenal fans get excited because of the type of player that he is, and that we haven't got at the squad. Though. Very silky on the ball, looks for the pass through eye of a needle. So I get it, but I would say, look, with the eye test, let's get through this season, see where we are, and then we can make a decision. I think it'd be difficult to get him on a permanent if Arsenal go down that route, but. Yeah, I with a bit of caution, mate, I'd say, look, just let this guy play some more games, get some more minutes, then we make the call at the end of the season, mate.
Well, Archangel saying he looks the biz, he's only 22, right? I like him. I think you're going to get more from him when he knows the picture better, when he can see the picture better, because every league's a bit different. And I can see he's trying a few things that haven't quite panned out or haven't quite worked out. But I think in time, he's only going to improve. I don't think for me, he's not a direct replacement for Emil Smith-Rowe. That's what I'm starting to see, because in a sense, he's almost the type of player that's, Ceballos keeps the ball ticking over and he moves. He's not exactly doing anything, but he keeps the ball ticking over. But I think Odegaard's got a little bit more in the locker with the final ball, a bit more technically gifted. But Emil Smith-Rowe gives you that drive, like 100%. Through, like he makes the runs in behind that those other midfielders don't. So I can see them somehow working together, but you've got to get that balance right. And the only way potentially they could play together more centrally is with someone like Partey in there at full throttle. But it's just difficult to. I don't know. It's difficult, but I think he's a good player. I think we needed someone like that. I would rather keep him than Ceballos. Put it that way.
Yeah, 100.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, at least we've got that available to us. Let's have a look. Theo's in the house as well. Good evening. I don't know if he's done that on purpose, whether he's typing with some sort of list. I don't know.
A lot of people do that, Levs. Believe me, even still. Yeah.
What? They still doing that? They're still
Good
dropping that
evening,
joke,
yeah,
yeah?
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
my kids would say, "Stop the dad jokes, man." They'll just carry, it's just let it go, innit? But guys, we're going to be dropping a link in a bit. But obviously, look, we got the result yesterday. That's the main thing. It's put us in a better position. Maybe, just maybe, he can look at it and give some players a rest for that second leg in the sense of not play, the worst team out, put a good team out still, but you might be able to drop a few of the players that he's wanting to maybe rest a little bit and protect. I don't know. But then there's this other
Saka needs it, Lev, I think,
Saka,
personally.
yeah. And where's
Yeah.
Martinelli? There's another one, bro. Everyone's asking this question. What's happening with Martinelli? These are the other two questions, yeah. The answers to it. One is, apparently Arteta's bringing him aside to prepare him to become a striker, so he's taking him some time to train him to do that because that's where he sees him, which I don't think is one. And the other is they're protecting him because of the previous mistakes that they've made with bad injuries. And let's be honest, he was out for a long time, so it must have been a bad injury, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah. The Martinelli one. I mean, there was reports obviously not too long ago that I think I might get this wrong way around, but I'm sure you might correct me, Les. Martinelli sees himself more out wide. Arteta sees him more down the middle, I think, or vice versa. That might be an issue, but even with that, that's not, to me, that's by the by. It's just the fact that I look at certain games this season. I always make reference to the game when we played Villa, mate, and like we're losing 1-0. None of the strikers are doing the business. You've got one more sub to play, 5-10 minutes to go. What, you're trying to tell me Martinelli can't give you 5-10 minutes? Yeah. That can't be protection, mate. He's a striker. You need to score a goal. Why is he on the bench?
They can't not suddenly
bring on Willian.
What do you think's happening? I mean, what's your take on it then?
It's Levs. I don't know how long's a piece of string. I don't know. It seems as if he's quite tough on other players, and then with some players he's got mad faith to. And I've always said with Mikel Arteta, he will live and die by the sword with the likes of Willian and Luiz and Xhaka and Bellerin, because that, to me, you're putting mad faith in these guys who are not really, arguably not good enough to be at this football club anymore, if you're being blunt about it. I mean, yes, they could do a job, and that's at its best, but if you're looking to take Arsenal back to the higher echelons, then I don't want to be, I don't want to be getting to arguing people on Twitter talking about, but if you look, I always say to people, your set of eyes don't lie to you, man. You see what you see on the pitch. Yeah, not cutting the mustard, but he keeps picking them levels. That's the thing.
Well, look, the only thing I can say about these things is we don't know what's going on in the background.
Yeah,
we don't know. I've played football. I know that you could have a really bad injury, then you might not be the same. And they did. The one thing I will say, they did try and bring him back, and then he was warming up, and then he got injured.
Yeah.
So maybe then they've gone, hold on, we've brought him back too soon. And I mean, look, he hasn't played, so it's not like he's played and then suddenly he's poor and they've pulled him out and they don't rate him. So that can't be the situation. They were gonna bring him back. They were gonna play him, and somewhere from the time he had that warm up and he got injured to now, he's not been playing.
He just disappeared. Yeah, it's crazy.
So we can be at fault sometimes as fans at looking into things too much. That do you know what I'm saying? Everything is scrutinized, man. Everything, it's crazy. But big up to Why Not Sentiment. We got Mr. Arsenal Podcast, big up Sentiment FC saying as well. Look, guys, we're going to be talking about things. If you have any questions you want us to talk about, drop it in. About the sort of 25 to 30 minute mark, I'll start dropping the links in there, and anyone wants to come in and quiz Albert in particular, just quiz him, just keep quizzing him, drop any questions at him.
I'll try, man.
just make my life easy today. So right, so look, we got there, we won the Europa game, we're looking positive with that. Hopefully we get to the last day. Hopefully some of the bigger teams get knocked out as well, or the so-called more difficult teams. Milan should have beat Man United the other day as well.
Absolutely, mate.
Robbed of an extra away goal. That VAR decision was a joke.
It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace.
It's another thing, bro. I'll bring it up with you now while we're here. Then VAR, what a fucking joke! Like, what is going on with it? Do you think there's some corruption going on? Because I know people say Arsenal fans moan, but I've looked at some serious stats recently. If you watched the show the other day, We are -5 points in the league table with regards to teams that have had gained anything from VAR overturns and stuff like that. We are -5 points. We are bottom third, the bottom 3 of that league. Yeah.
Wow.
The previous season we were -1. Right. So we never get good decisions historically through VAR. And some of them are so glaring. Like this, the other one against Burnley the other day, proximity. Where did proximity come from?
I couldn't believe that never got given, Levs. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. The first one against Burnley, it was ridiculous. But yeah, about the VAR, mate. I think as I'm aware, it's the implementation in this country of how they use the VAR. That's the big issue because I'm sure they don't have the problems to the level that they have in this country implementing VAR. And to add even further to that, Levs, the biggest problem we've got, right? Mike Riley is still ahead of the PGMOL since 2006, 2009. And we all know, and this is not Arsenal fans, this is not being sour because we watched that game many, many years ago, one of the worst refereeing performances at Old Trafford. Anybody that has not seen it, unless they've been sleeping for the last 15, 20 years, go and watch that.
Are you talking about what the game against us?
At Old Trafford, we lost the unbeaten run, the 49 game.
When they kicked the crap out of Reyes all game.
Yeah,
and got away with it. Gary Neville was absolutely destroying Reyes all game.
And that's the thing. He's in charge of the referees in this country. It's no coincidence. Listen, we had the major tournament back in the last World Cup. There was no representation in this country. They should have been embarrassed that they're not representing in the major tournament. And actually, they shouldn't even be representing this year at the Euros.
Well, they're clearly not trusted. They're clearly not trusted, are they? And when was the last time we hosted a World Cup? Look, the country that apparently birthed this football that we're witnessing now with the rules. Look, we haven't hosted a World Cup since '66.
Yeah.
So what is it? We've got the infrastructure, we've got everything in place. There must be something.
There must be, mate. But yeah, this referee, the VAR thing. I mean, some of the decisions I've seen this season, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I generally can't believe what I'm seeing. I think the only ref I would say, Levs, if you were to ask me, who do I think is even the most capable ref in this country? Michael Oliver. Other than that, the rest of them, I wouldn't want any of them refereeing in any of the Premier League games. Atkinson, Moss, all of them.
This is look what Archangel's saying here. When people go mad at VAR and they go, VAR is terrible, football should. This is my answer to them. But the camera don't lie. It's not VAR. It's
implementation.
It's not the equipment. Do you know what I mean? It's there. We have had no coaching. I've played the game at a decent level. I'm sure you've played whatever. You know the game. We sit there in our living room on our sofas, munching during lockdown, gaining that extra stone. We look at that camera and we can see straight away. We know what the answer is, right? It's gonna be overturned. It's gonna be. Straight away. But the way they're operating now, you don't anymore. It's like they make things up, and they've done it so to the point that the fine lines with your knee for the offsides and this and that. I mean, what next? Do you know, like someone's wearing too tight shorts, maybe they're a bit more better endowed than somebody else, and that's offside? Like, what? Where does it stop, bro? Do you know what I mean?
Levs, until Mike Riley goes, the problem's going to continue, and that's the short of it. Until he goes, we can't. I mean, there's been talks for years about Kalina coming over to this country and probably helping. That's been going on from when at least in the last 10 years. If they really wanted to get change in this country in terms of how the officiating is done in this country, Kalina would have been over here 10, 15 years ago, mate. He's been retired for however many years.
Man, if they didn't get him over in the 90s, they're never going to get him over. Let's be honest. Everyone was coming over from Italy in the 90s and the late 2000s. Do you know what I mean? That's where Sven came from. He came from over there, and he's like Lazio, and then he comes here, and then they're all coming over here. So if he didn't come then, he's not going to come now.
Not going to come now. No, he's not.
And do you know what it is? It's that old establishment mentality.
Yes.
They don't want to let anybody else in. They don't want to let in another idea or look at other things. They're questioning our way of refereeing. Who are they to question it? Do you know what I mean? But look, here he is, all the way from turned up, Mr. African Gooner. How you doing, bro?
Turned up is that there's power outages here in South Africa, so I had no electricity.
Yeah,
That is,
twice
do you
a
know
day.
what? I'm fed up with using that excuse. Every time you come on the show, it's that power outage excuse in Africa. Don't know wherever it is you are, Canada. Where are you, bro?
I'm in South Africa right now, and just
South
Google
Africa.
it. You'll see. I mean, twice a day, we just have 2 hours of power outages. So yeah,
Don't be silly. I'm
it
happy
is what
to
it
see
is.
you. I'm happy to see you, man. I'm
Good to
happy to
see
see
you,
you.
bro.
Yeah, we got
Hello.
Albert JTV in the house.
Yeah, of course, Albert
Mate,
and I know each other well.
I see you was having your kittens again yesterday. Now you're
Yeah,
here.
I mean, when we
You-
went 1-1, I was like, here we
I
go
wish I kept
again.
some of your tweets. Some of them were
Just
almost suicidal. Like it was like, I see, I've had enough. I just don't know what you were saying at half the time, but you was expecting that bad result again, isn't it? PTSD. That's what I
Well,
call it.
yeah, I was expecting a mess up, and I was expecting that we wouldn't get what we needed, which was the 2-goal buffer. And I mean, somehow again we pull it out of the bag. I think Arteta gets lucky again. Last round he brings in Willian, and it worked, and somehow we end up scoring. And again, yesterday we bring on, who did we bring on yesterday? We bring on Pepe, and
Oh, this is the other
make it a
thing I
little
wanted
bit
to
of a difference.
discuss. I'm glad you're here, bro, because like, how many of us done that thing when El Neni came on? I wish we
William,
all had that same clip. I was watching Troops' one yesterday as well. He had it. William, we need a goal when you bring on William. We all did it, right?
I think it's even before El Neni comes on, right? It's like I didn't understand why he was waiting so long to actually make any type of substitution, whoever it was. He was just taking too long. You could see the game was stale. You could see that they came back into the game. The tides had changed. We make a massive mistake, and we give them, an opportunity to feel like they have something to fight for in this game. And that's what we did last game, and we got lucky, right? So, I mean, yeah, El Neni, or as they call him these days, Mohamed El Messi. I mean,
come on, we were all expecting that, weren't we?
El Perlo in it now, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, what a cracking goal! I mean, and what a time to score! I mean, scores 4 goals, and all of them come in Europe. I mean, obviously that first one, that famous one against Barcelona, and it was very similar, right? I mean, just goes for a long range strike. I think. You know what I mean? I don't even think he's really aiming for that. He's just going for power, man. The way if you rewatch that replay, he's going for power, man. And he just kicks it across the goal, and just pure power, and it's going away from the keeper. And he gets a hand on it, and then post in. I mean, I'll take it, man, any day. I really don't.
We wanted our midfielders to shoot more. We've been wanting that for a
100%.
while, right?
You make a good point. You make a good point, Lev.
Yeah,
I saw it. Was there a stat? I don't know if you guys saw it. Apparently, I think the person in the chat actually told me the stat that in terms of shooting outside the box, we're like the worst in the last however many years or something like that.
Yeah,
we don't shoot. We don't shoot.
The last goal scoring midfielder we had was Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah,
really, if you want to talk about it logically,
yeah.
That's the only one that went over through and behind and in behind and made runs was Aaron Ramsey, and he was a bit hit and miss for me as a player, but we've had this problem for time. So I mean, it's nice that they're shooting, but but we didn't touch on this, Albert, while we were talking about the Europa stuff with Arsenal. I'm glad you're here as well, bro. Now we can talk about it. Gabriel's header. It was ridiculous.
Massive.
Because if you look at it, the way he had to run and the angle he was running from, and then to get the leap and then to get the power from that distance to loop it over, I think that is some serious power he's got there to do that. Like, I didn't think he could do it. There wasn't that much pace on the ball.
No, he sort of hung it up at the back post. But yeah, that goal was massive because Africa makes the point when Olympiacos scored, they grew in confidence. We was rattled for about a good 15 minutes. Just our shape had gone, but that goal was huge. I always say, Levs and African Guna, like when you play away in the first leg in a European tie, you have to score. To go back to a second leg at home when 0-0, you are playing Russian roulette. You need to to get 3 away goals from the position we was in with 10 minutes to go. Absolutely huge. Great goal from Gabriel. And to get the bonus strike from El Neni was even better. So yeah, to get that 2-goal buffer is going to be massive, man. Massive.
So listen, go on, African, because we're catching up with you, bro. We're catching up with you. Go on.
Quickly on that. I mean, Albert and Lev, I'm not surprised, man. Like, listen, Gabriel, he scored that header in the first match. He scored a second header, and this is his third header. He has it in him, and I don't remember the last Arsenal
all from Willian as well. all from Willian as well. So you're going to have to accept that if Gabriel plays, you've got to play Willian. Otherwise, he's not going to get no headers.
But listen, I've been one of those people who've always said to everyone that like Willian was going to come good. I've been that person, and on here as well, I've said like give Willian more chances. I mean, maybe and I'll be honest as well, and I'm not going to take full credit, but in the last 3 weeks or so, I said, okay, I had a little bit enough of Willian and said, okay, maybe we give someone else an opportunity. But in the last few weeks, he's been showing up. I called that he was going to start last night. I didn't want Pepe to start. I didn't think Pepe deserved to start. I'm sorry, man. He misses an open net, 72 million. Why would the manager trust you and play you when you just missed an open net in a game against Burnley? For me as a manager, I'm putting the guy back on the bench and he needs to prove himself again. So I was, I was expecting Willian to start, and I think he didn't have a great game. And I think he was lucky to stay on and actually get that assist for Gabriel, in my opinion, because I think, around that time, I already wanted him out. I already wanted a change. I was crying for Martinelli. My emotions were all over the place.
Yeah.
We just gave away another free goal, and I'm like, I can't believe this, because I really thought we were dominating. I was really happy. And then, of course, we pressed the self-destruct button.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, we finished this game 1-1, and I think we're pretty much out. And I've moved from Arteta, from being in the middle of the fence to being completely Arteta out, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Martinelli is not coming on again. He's making the same mistakes. He's taking too long to make a substitution. He doesn't know what he's doing. So
no, look, because of you, Nudran he says he's out. Because of you, African. He says he's out, and he's also giving me a thumbs down. Yeah, that's your fault.
That's quite unfortunate, but I didn't slander him at all.
Well,
all I said
I know
was,
you didn't. I know you didn't.
He missed a sitter. He doesn't deserve to start, really. And I'm ruthless that way because I have like high expectations, and I'm an ambitious person. Clearly, this person is quite an average person and doesn't have quite high ambitions in life. So, that's what it is. What it is.
Well, Nudran, why don't you stick around and come in and say what you want to say rather than run off? There's another way of dealing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, this is the whole point of this platform. So, look, I'm going to drop a link in here, guys. I'm going to put it in. So, whoever wants to come in and have a chat, we're going to do that. But we're going to move this on to the North London derby. Guys, this is a crucial game for many reasons, but to add some extra spice to it, Jose Mourinho's come out in BBC Sport suggesting Tottenham boss says not looking down towards Arsenal, they only look up. I happened to mention that they'd finished the season 3 or 4 times ahead of us, and so what is this a little bit of gamesmanship? Is he trying to get into our heads? And what do you guys expect?
Can I go first on this one, Albert?
Yeah.
I mean, really, my message to Mourinho is that's really what it is, and expected. I don't know if you guys watch Friends, but you know what this is.
I watch Friends.
The guy is such a hateable character. Really, like, I mean, if he's not managing your club, you just hate the guy, right? And it doesn't matter what rival fan you are, whether you're a United fan, a Chelsea fan, Arsenal fan. I mean, he's just one of those guys that is able to wind you up. And I mean, he makes a point, right? I mean, this is not wrong with what he says. It's just that as a manager, you don't expect him to actually come out and say that in public because it's so rude, right?
I expect him to say that.
I'm really hoping that we're able to.
A lot worse than that.
Yeah, man. But still, you know what I mean? You expect that he grows up and he's matured. Like, how long has he been in this league? How long has he been in this job? I'm expecting at some point that he learns, right? And he just actually has some respect for some people.
Well, how long have you been in the league? He's never.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. You just feel like people will change, coronavirus, lockdown, like, he's had some disappointments. You'd hope that he learns. Arsene Wenger's not here anymore. He doesn't have to be like this.
Man, it's that old rivalry. Guys in the chat, I can see you guys ready to come on in the background of the studio. Just hold tight. We just get Albert's opinion on the Spurs game and all of that, and then we'll bring you guys in. All right, so sit tight. So Albert, bruv, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? What do you think this? What are we going to do? What sort of teams he putting out, and what do you expect?
With the Mourinho thing, nothing surprises me with him. It would have been interesting to. It's obviously Tottenham has gone on a little bit of momentum and picked up a few wins, so it would have been interesting to see whether what he would have said if Tottenham hadn't gone that run, because they've hit a little bit of form. So nothing surprises me with him, and he says it. He says it, Lev, just for the simple fact that he knows since he's been in the Premier League, as long as he's been in the Premier League, Mourinho, he's got a very good record against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Very good
Well,
record
yeah,
against
yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah, well,
So
he did have a Didier Drogba Chelsea, didn't he? He did have that
Yeah.
Chelsea team. And yeah, you say that, Albert. That's true. You say that as well about Spurs. Since he's had them, he hasn't lost to us either.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I you know what it is. Like, what I do hope, Levs. I hope Arteta learns from not just the game last season at White Hart Lane, but obviously the game or the new Spurs Stadium, whatever it is, and the game even earlier this season. Like, just set us up in a way that we don't get sucker punched for the third time in a row.
It's
That's
hard
what
for
I'm
him to
looking
do
for.
that if we're not taking our chances.
Yeah.
Because if he's setting you up in a way where you're playing good enough, and let's be honest, we've already said this earlier on in the show, you could say the same thing about the last 3 games, that we started far better than the other team, should have won, should have had loads of chances, didn't finish it off, and then we hit the self-destruct button. We nearly did it again yesterday. How, in one sense, how could this be his fault? He's clearly setting us up correctly. We're playing better. We're just not putting our chances away. So then we can get sucker punched, no?
A quick question for you two. Is he with Pepe? Would you start him on Sunday? Only because the reason why I ask you that is because whoever the Tottenham fullback is going to be, I think he could get some joy out of them, whether it's Doherty or Aurier.
African.
Yeah, man. This is not, I mean, important game because it's Spurs, but not really that important. Let's be honest. I don't know why some fans are going over the top with it. And listen, we're out of it in the league, man. This game is useless.
No, bro.
It's not even for that, mate. It's because
we want to win, but really,
no, bro.
I mean, we want to win, of course. But if we lose, it's not the end of the world. It's not gonna really change or impact our season whatsoever. So for me, I mean, really,
bro, you get the hump. You get the hump losing one game to anybody.
Of course. But you know what I mean?
How you?
If we had to choose between the next 3 games, which game I would lose, I'd say let's lose against Spurs and win both games.
No way, bro. No,
all 3 are cup finals, man.
Oh, this is a good time to bring some people in. I'll tell you that right now.
Listen, we know that. Like, what is the plausibility that we're gonna win 3 games in a row, right? I mean, for me, it's very rare that we're actually gonna go ahead and actually win, against Spurs and then win again against Olympiacos for me, right? So that's the way I look at it. I mean, of course, I'd love to beat Spurs, but at the end of the day, for me, it's not a big impact on our season. I think Pepe, perfect chance to give him an opportunity, give him the game time. We want to rest some players, play him and let him do his stuff. If he messes up, because I don't think he's a trustworthy player, right? If he messes up, so be it. It's not going to have major consequences for me, really. That's how I see it.
Well, right, guys. So we've got a couple of guests in, regulars. We've got Seb. How you doing, Seb? You all good?
Yeah. Good, thank you.
This is our Stato. That's what we're calling it, Seb, from now on. He is Stato because he comes out with some info that you just like that. So Stato Seb, and we got Enrico.
How are you doing, man?
Enrico Suave. That's what we call him because he's Scottish but Italian, and he's cool. Yeah. So, guys, you've been hearing what these guys have been saying. You've been hearing what we've been talking about. Well, with regards to African Gunner, he's saying, "Look, this is just another game. I don't care." Albert saying, "Look, we got to win this." How do you guys feel about it? And you've been hearing about what Marino saying. I mean, I'll let you guys crack on. So, Enrico, I'll let you start with this. How do you feel?
It's mind games, man. I saw after the game, Harry Kane had an ice pack on his leg. It's mind game. It's literally, he's playing mind games already. It's just what Mourinho's done ever since he's came into the Premier League. He's always played mind games, especially with Arsenal, and he's doing it with Harry Kane. He's obviously said to Harry Kane, go to the change room, get an ice packet. So Arsenal fans are going, yes, he's injured, but he's not injured. He's going to be playing at the weekend. In regard to the game, it's a must-win. Even though we're out of the Premier League, it's still bragging rights because it's Spurs. It's such a big game, and it's at home. And imagine if we lose this game, the pressure on Arteta will be back on Arteta because
there's no pressure, man. We're in the next round. What's the pressure for? We're in the next round, man. We just won 3-1. I ain't even scared about next week, man. I'm confident. I slept like a king last night.
I know. I think we're through the next round. I just think based on the fact we're playing Spurs, I think it's because we're playing against our rivals that we have to get a result and we have to play well. So I think based on that, for me, we have to win this game just because it's Mourinho and second of all because it's Spurs.
African, bro. It might be a London thing. Where was you born? Where was you born?
No, I get it. No, like 100%. I'm not taking that away. Of course.
We can't stand them.
The thing is, right?
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I resonate that feeling. But again, for me, just if you look at it with that, like, take off that hat, that Arsenal hat, take off that rivalry hat, and just look at the game as in 3 points. What does those 3 points mean to us? Apart from beating Spurs, for me, that 3 points doesn't mean anything, because in the next few games we're gonna lose or we're gonna mess up against someone else, and then we're gonna still end up, I think,
momentum,
maybe
momentum.
Sorry?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Momentum.
I don't think, Albert, we have that in us. We know it at one game. I mean, how many games are left in the Premier League? Let's say there's, I think, 13 games left. We're going to mess up at least 2-3 of them, right, at some point. So for me, it's just a matter of when we mess up again in the Premier League.
See,
I'm just focused on Europa.
He has got a point. The one thing I have to say with African, he's got a point in the sense of, do we really string runs together? Like, you talk about momentum, Albert, you're talking about momentum. I can agree with you, bro. Every time we look like we're gaining some, we go and blow it again with a result. Seb, you've heard what's been going on, and by the way, it looks like you've got a new nickname, Enrico. So Suave, he agrees with you.
I'll change my name to Suave Matthews next time. Okay?
And Enrique Suave, there you go. So Seb, you've heard what's been going on. What's your take on it? And do you agree with African? Is it just another game, or do you agree with Albert, or what do you think's happening?
I 100% agree with Albert. It is definitely a game Arsenal have to win, because first of all, it's a North London derby. These are the most important games you look on in the calendar of the season. And we certainly cannot have a double suffered by them. Really can't, because this game means everything to the fans, the club, the players, well, hopefully the players, and everyone. We have to win, regardless of the situation we're in and the league positions. It is always a game we must win. And I'd actually like to ask you guys this. I wouldn't make that many changes following yesterday, because this game is so important. I would probably change, if I was him, I'd probably bring Cedric back in for Bellerin, even though Bellerin did have a good game yesterday. And again, Mari I would bring in, even though Gabriel had a good game. I'll bring Mari back in. I'll keep David Luiz, Tierney, Leno in. I'll keep Partey and Xhaka. I'll bring Emil Smith-Rowe in, give Odegaard a rest. And I'll definitely bring Pepe in, and I'll take Willian out. But apart from that, I'll keep Saka, and I'll probably keep Aubameyang. Just don't make too many changes this game, because it's so important. And we have got a little bit of a healthy cushion following last night. So maybe in that second leg, we can afford to rest like one or two. And if it's going wrong, then bring them on from the bench in that second game next week on Thursday. But all focus lies on Sunday. We have to beat Spurs.
I think we have such double standards, man. I mean, we look at it in such isolation. Let's be realistic. What does beating Spurs, really mean if they finish 13, 14 points ahead of us, if they actually win a trophy? I mean, you think their fans, you think their fan base is really going to care about losing on Sunday, when if they do, finish 15 points ahead of us and they're in the League Cup final, they win the trophy, they're going to be looking at us, laughing at us, saying, you guys are, celebrating over one game. We've won a title. We're finished 15 points ahead of you. You know what I mean? Like,
come on now. Now you're going too far. Now you're saying title, won the title. Oh, what is wrong with this?
Winning a trophy, not the title. The trophy, just a trophy. Any trophy. I mean, even if they win the League Cup.
We're not letting them win. Look, if we beat them, it stops them getting up to, I don't know, 15 points ahead of us. We have to beat them.
That's my point. If we beat them, we're still gonna mess up the game.
But it's also them, isn't it? It's also them.
Also, don't forget, I think it was back in 2012, when they were 11 points clear of us, when we beat them 5-2, coming back from 2-0 down. We started that implosion from Spurs, and we ended up finishing above them. So maybe that could happen, but whether it happens or not, regardless, we can only do our job.
9 years ago was a different team. We're a different team.
We have to do our job, though.
We have a weak squad. I mean, and Tottenham have a way stronger squad. You got to be real sometimes and take off that rival hat. Like people saying Harry Kane is not a world-class striker just because he plays for Spurs. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'm very stubborn on my point, and I'm not going to switch.
That outage has really pissed you off today, isn't it? That outage.
I just think we just have like double standards, man. This game is not. I mean, it's important. I want to win. I want the best performance, but in reality, whatever the result is, the 3 points is not that important to me. Because
when I talk about momentum, I mean I don't mean like to go in a 15-game unbeaten run. I mean this season's a very different season in the Premier League. I mean, like I said, I looked at the game yesterday, and obviously the game on Sunday and the second leg is this like 3 cup finals. They're huge. They're huge for Arteta.
Yeah, we have to. I agree with you.
That's what I mean. Not so much we're going like some 10-15 game unbeaten run.
No, I knew what you meant, bro. I was just saying though, like playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Momentum. Every time we look like we're getting it, like, do you know what they do? They suck you in. We're on a roll now, and then they'll play Burnley and screw it up. Enrico, looking smooth there as usual. What have you been thinking about? Look, African Guna saying that they've got a far better squad than us, and it's double standards. Okay. Us wanting to win this more than any other game, I think, is where he's going with that.
Yeah.
What's your answer to African Guna on that side of things?
God, don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I think.
See that. I don't give my guests an easy ride here, man.
I know that's a tough question.
I know it is. That's why I gave it to you. I don't want
Here's the thing, right? I know. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think with the game, I remember Arteta before the game against Olympiacos mentioned one thing. He said he wants to get on a run, like a 5-match winning run. Yeah. And I think it's to do with momentum, especially in this time of the season where games are coming thick and fast, and we need to get our run. And I look at our games right coming up. We've got Spurs at the weekend. There we go, Olympiacos. There you go, West Ham. There you go, Liverpool. If we can go through these games unscathed, that will give us so much confidence going forward to the end of the season. Now, with this team, we don't know. They can literally self-implode. We know that. We've seen them all season. They've self-imploded every time. And this is going back to the Aston Villa game. 5 minutes in, Cedric gives a dodgy pass. And it's not just Cedric. Then Ollie Watkins is free in the box. We need to stop carrying out these errors. And I think with Arsenal this season, I've noticed we tend to play well for 10 to 15 minutes, right? But then we become casual, we lose concentration, and we always let the opposition team get those chances in down to our own mistakes. If we can cut these mistakes out, we'll start getting more points. So I think
that's a massive point, Enrico. I noticed
that.
And
the thing is, though, right? I look at our position. Yes, we're 10th, but a lot of these mistakes, it's down to Arteta because of the players he's picked in the past, but it's down to our own selves. And this is going back to Aston Villa game, the Leicester game at home. When you concede so early in the game and you concede that you can see the goal, the game plan goes out the window because then you have to take initiative. And sometimes we're vulnerable when it comes to that. So I think in regard with Arsenal, we need to get a winning run going. Yeah, Spurs are a better team than us. They've got a manager who's experienced, who's won trophies everywhere in Spain, in Italy, and in England. He's a better manager right now. But I think this game is so big. Just because it's Mourinho, I just think it's because it's Mourinho. I can't stand the guy, and I follow Italian football. I'm a big Roma fan, and when he was at Inter, he was one of the most hated managers in Italy, just because the way he is as a person. He's a great manager, but as a person, I just don't like him. And I think this game this weekend is so big, just because I think it will give us so much confidence going towards the back end of the season. I think, that's what I think.
I think you're right. It will give us a massive boost if we beat them. But it's also the history behind it. But you touched on a massive point there, Enrico. I thought about this myself a few weeks back. We do dominate, but then we do go to sleep a little bit. But it does usually. One thing I have noticed we do a lot is we make a mistake that gives the opposition some hope. So we might be controlling the game, right? We might have this control over them, and then we do something really stupid and basic, and they'll either score or they'll hit the post or something, and then it gives them hope, and then suddenly the game switches and their mentality changes and they come at us differently. So that's something we do. You're 100% right on that. So I mean, look, African Guna, you've been getting people going crazy in the chats because of some of your comments. You got something you want to say about this? So African Guna, this is Ryan Williams from AFC. African Guna, what happens if we lose the Europa game and Spurs? Then you're still going to go mad, bro. That's double standards. I agree, Spurs is stronger, but we need to make some dubs somehow. I think that's street slang, some dubs.
Up so I can have a look when I answer it. But basically, Ryan, I mean, if we lose the Europa League and we lose against Spurs, and I mean, I'm not going to be that upset, to be honest, because my expectations are not that high, right? I'm not expecting us to go and win the Europa League. I think we need to get a bit lucky in terms of who we draw in the next round and I think that the league is over for me, right? So for me, as I said, it's all about the Europa League. So that's how I see it, man. I mean, of course, I want us to win. It's a huge game, and again, like, don't get me wrong, I love Arsenal, man. I spend 10 p.m. on a Friday night, and I'm talking about Arsenal on YouTube. You can't question my loyalty to this club.
No one questions your loyalty, bro.
No one questions you. It's just like, for me, I'm looking at a bigger picture, and as Enrico said, I hate Mourinho, man. I want to get one over him because of how many times he's sucker punched us in the face and the comments that he's made. But really, when I look at the bigger picture, for me, it's of course it's an important game, but in the grand scheme of things, for me, it's all about the Europa League that I'm focused. Yes, maybe this game is perfect for Pepe and some of these players, Smith Rowe, to regain form so that they can play well in the Europa League. But apart from that, for me,
So you guys are listening to this, right? You guys listening to this now, and you guys in the chat, do yourselves a favor at kickoff time. Go and find him on Twitter and see if he's this calm about it, because this is all just front. Yeah, because then tomorrow he's going to be going absolutely nuts. Yeah, and you've heard it here first. So do yourselves a favor, follow the African Gooner on Twitter, and come back to next show and tell me if he was as calm as like, well, it's not that big a game.
No, you know how it goes when the game starts.
Yeah, whatever.
Your heart gets like sucked in. That's what I'm trying to not get into. I don't want to get into the trap.
I'm gonna bring you back in, mate. You're coming back in. You're coming back in. You're going to be optimistic. So come on in. Predictions for tomorrow. I want to know what's happening tomorrow. We're at the back end of the show. So predictions for tomorrow. Theo, I'm going to bring you in as well, even though you don't have a camera. Predictions for tomorrow, starting with Albert and how you see it lining up as well. I mean, Seb came in with a list of his lineup. Bang, 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 bang. He's giving it to us already. I told you he's Stato. So who you starting, and what's the result?
Lev, just like I said to you at the start of the stream, that trying to second guess on an Arteta 11, you forget about it. You'll be waiting. You'll be deciding all day and all week. But what if
you gotta give me something, bro?
Oh God! I mean, I can give you a score prediction 2-1 because I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, mate. Definitely not. And
the lineup.
What I'd expect to see, at least minimum probably 4 changes, mate. Because our last few games, we've been 5 changes, 6 changes. I'll be surprised if it's more than 4.
Who would you start in the back line?
Oh God!
Knowing that you've got the second leg on Thursday, but we've got a 2-goal cushion, and we don't have a game in between, do we? So it's a bit of a rest period as well. So knowing that, would you do what Seb has said, like in some cases, play some of these players still that played on Thursday, or would you like do something different?
I think the obvious ones to come in would be Cedric, like Seb mentioned, Mari and Pepe. I think there'll be one more, but I'm not sure. But those 3 definitely will come in, I think.
Smith Rowe.
Possibly, yeah. That'd be a 4.
Yeah,
that'd be a 4.
I think Smith Rowe will feel it more as well. It's a London derby. He knows what it means. Not like African Gooner. He's a bit blasé about it.
So
we win.
Minimum 4.
If we were fighting for something, I'd be so gassed for this, man. But I mean, yeah, man. It's important, but not.
I'm screenshotting tomorrow, bro. What's that?
No, I was saying that it doesn't matter. It's not about whether you're fighting for something. It's a North London derby, man. In isolation, we're talking about this game. It's a North London derby. End of.
There.
Okay.
All right.
For me, I'm gonna go for 1-1. I think we'll be winning the game, and somehow Harry Kane or Son is gonna score in the 80th minute, 80-something minutes. They'll score 1-1, and it'll be 1-1, and people will get over it, and we'll move on, and then people will focus again on the Europa League and reprioritize, their brains to what is actually important for us this season. Beating Spurs and getting knocked out of Europa League doesn't give us a war chest in the summer transfer window. Yeah, it doesn't put us in Europe next season. Again,
it gives us 3 points and it shuts them up for a bit. That's enough. That's enough for me.
For a bit. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm predicting 1-1, and I agree with Albert. All the changes that he said, agreed. Pepe comes in, Cedric comes in for Bellerin. Even though Bellerin had a really good game and he justified his, I think he justified his starting position. I think he was great yesterday. He was driving, even the slide tackle where he's trying to, protect the ball from going out. He's showing fight, right? And that's the type of attitude that you want from him. And then, yes, I think Odegaard definitely needs a break. I think Martinelli, man, I mean, we haven't mentioned it. Martinelli needs to play on Sunday, man. I mean, again, there's no reason why this guy is not coming on. I have no clue. One of the reasons why, in terms of Arteta in and out, him not playing Martinelli really does get me to say, what are you doing, man? You're bringing on El Neni to score a goal when you have Martinelli on the bench. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
I can see Maury Memento must be Scottish because he says, in my opinion, I actually agree it could be 1 each, hopefully 2-1 Gunners, but I can't see Spurs not scoring at the so it must be Scottish. So thanks for that, bro. Right, so we got Theo coming in dressed as the white big T with a green dot. Theo, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. I can hear you. So you've heard what people have been saying. If you've got any questions, ask them, and we'd like to hear a prediction from you tomorrow for tomorrow's game as well.
Genuinely, I've not even really been following the stream because I've just been trying to get into the chat room, but my connection has been really poor. But from what I understand what people are talking about, I think it's about Tottenham or is it Spurs match or something?
Yeah, so basically, forget the stream and just tell me who do you think is going to win tomorrow?
Sunday.
Oh, 1 month, yeah. Yeah. Who's going to win? What's the result? Arsenal Spurs. Go.
Can't hear you.
Nah.
Archangel, that's never happening.
It's gone.
Man.
It's gone. It's gone. Enrico, so let's go to you, man. His moment to shine, and the big T blew it. So tell me, Enrico, what the deal is. You can tell me, bro.
Right. I'm going to go for 2-1, but I'm going to say something controversial. I think Aubameyang will be dropped, and I think Lacazette will come in.
How is that controversial? I agree with that. It's not controversial at all. Lacazette
no, but I think...
what is wrong with you today? You're just so argumentative with everybody.
Man, I'll take it. I'm Italian. I'm Italian. I'm used to it, man.
I can see it from his eyes when he came on earlier on.
You slept well last night, man.
He slept like a king. He slept like a king, and he's come on like a witch. That's what he's like. He's come on here, and he's in a bad mood. He came on here half an hour. I've
been in the dark for 2 hours.
Power outage. His eyes are all red. He looks like his eyes are all red. I thought he was baking, but instead, what it actually is, he's had an outage and he can't see. So he's come on here, he's pissed off, and he's having a go at everyone. Sorry about Enrico. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, man. No worries.
Sorry, man.
I think Lacazette will come in because he's got a really good record against Spurs. I remember he scored that goal against them last season, both at home and away. So I think he'll come in.
He's got a good record.
I would probably bring in Cedric at right back. A left centre back, I'd bring in Mari, and then I'd also bring in Smith Rowe and maybe Pepe, because I've noticed one thing. Pepe seems to play well with Lacazette. They seem to have a really good understanding. Every time I've seen them play, Pepe and Lacazette have a really good game. So I think Pepe will come in, and I think Lacazette will come in as well. And I'm going to go 2-1. Kane will obviously score. He always seems to score against us. And I think the first goal scorer will be Smith Rowe. I'm going to go
Man's going first goal scorer as well. It's like
I'm
an accumulator bet as well.
You heard it here first.
10-1, guys. We'll go for it.
You've heard it here first from Enrico bet, the suavest bet you can get. Okay, and Sebastian, bro, what is the result tomorrow?
I'm gonna go 3-1. I'll go a bit different. I'll go 3-1. Hopefully, I do think the players will be up for this, and it's at home, and I always expect us to beat them at home because we do actually have a good record against them at the Emirates. But they have to be on their game, cut out these silly mistakes, and when we get a chance, we have to take it. But yeah, I'm feeling confident. 3-1.
Clearly. So my man's gone 3-1. Albert's gone 2-1. Enrico's gone 2-1. African Guna, I'm surprised we're not losing. He's gone 1-1.
I mean, we may lose, but I think 1-1 is probably what's gonna happen. To be honest,
so that's African being in a good mood. 1-1. So that's 1-1. If he was in a bad mood, we'll be losing.
Myself. Look, listen, you guys have all been swayed by this result last night.
He's hurt. He's got
PTSD.
PTSD.
PTSD,
man. He's
what are you guys gonna say? I'm gonna be sitting here like I told you 1-1.
He's
I told you not
scared
to
to commit. It's like when you've been with that woman that you really love and she's hurt you, and you want to get back with her.
Yeah,
but he's scared to lower the barrier. That's what he's like. I know deep down he cares about this and he wants us to win tomorrow, but he's scared to lower the barrier.
Yeah, I'm scared to put myself out there. I'm not trying to get my heart broken.
I'll do it for you, bro. We're gonna win tomorrow 2-1. Yeah, and that's us for tonight. So let's see.
Just a point. Can I?
Go on. Go on.
Yeah.
Victor's here as well.
Oh, Victor's here. Nice, because we can chat about Pepe. Because I want to get on this point. Like people saying that the comment was Aubameyang was anonymous last game, missed chances. So by my standards, he deserves to be dropped. I mean, you guys need to understand that certain players have credit. Aubameyang has a lot of credit in the bank. Pepe has no credit in the bank, man. So if he misses an open goal, if he misses a sitter, he deserves to be dropped. Whereas if Aubameyang misses a sitter, I mean, he's scoring every other game. So he has credit in the bank for you to be like, okay, cool. He missed one chance and that's it. But that's, I mean, you can't just look at isolated situations.
I feel bad for him in a way though, because if he got that penalty the other day and we won, true. We would all be going, look, he's turned the game around for us, right? So
that was unfair.
Just see the fine lines, because if he had got us that penalty, we would have gone, we would have scored. Yeah. He would have been a hero. We'd be saying to play next week. And now we're saying we don't want him to play. We don't want him to need a goal. You're saying because of that miss, he should be sent to, I don't know, wherever, hell. Like, well, I think he played well up until that miss. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's bring Victor in. He just sounds like he's in like an air tunnel or something, though. So I'm going to try. Let's have a look. He's in a sauna or something, isn't it? Like, where is he?
Hello.
Victor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro. It's just got a loud. I don't know if it's a fan or an air conditioner. Is it hot where you are or something?
Oh, yeah. It's cold, so it's fine.
Oh, it's got a fan. Of course, it's cold. You're in Russia, aren't you, Albert? This is Victor's from Russia, by the way. He's not from Russia himself, but he's residing in Russia. Yeah. So, Victor. We've got a couple of minutes, bro, but I couldn't resist putting you on. You've heard what the guys have been saying, hopefully, unlike the other guy, Mr. T, who came on and said he weren't even listening. What do you think the situation is? Like with regards to the game?
It's pretty clear. Yeah, I think it's written all over the sky. We're losing 2-1 on Sunday.
Oh, dear.
Really?
You said we're losing 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
we're losing 2-1 on Sunday.
Thanks for coming on, Victor. It's been great having you, mate. Like, I can't hear you. Get some interference coming in there. Like, I think, what did you say? Hello? Hello? Sorry, bro. Well, anyway, that was Victor, guys. He's come on here. He's doing an African goon. I'm not having that. Anyway, bro. Like, very quickly, don't
name that after me. Hey, I'm being real. I come on here.
You think we're gonna lose? Yeah.
I'm going to be real.
You started. You can. Do you know what? This is all you're doing. So why do you think we're gonna lose, bro? Why? What is it?
Because it's the way we play. We give opponents goals, and you're not gonna give Hurricane those opportunities and expect him not to take it. Not with this current Hurricane with Gareth Bale in form.
This is what I hate, Victor. He always tells the truth. He tells the truth. I don't like the truth.
We gave Olympiacos 3 goals yesterday. They took 1.
Yeah, but it's got to be one game, surely, coming up now that we don't do that. Maybe we've got them all out of the system. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
kind of like the red card, right? At some point, we're not going to get a red card.
Yeah, that dropped, didn't it?
The opponent don't need to play well to beat us. We beat ourselves. So let's be realistic here. It's just a mistake from happening.
So if there's any game we're gonna actually not beat ourselves, maybe this is gonna be it, Victor. I don't know, bro.
Hopefully.
It's the hope that kills you.
Someone's asking you this, Victor. The fuck you doing in Russia, Victor? Do you want to answer that? Or
he's studying, man. He's studying,
man. No, he's studying. I remember that. Okay. I don't know why I was asking that, but that's rude, bro. Sorry about that. So at the end of the day, I think you might have a point. We do make mistakes. I'm hoping we're going to cancel those mistakes out. How many more games in a row we're going to make these mistakes? It's not like we're going to repeat the red cards over and over again. So at some point, it's got to stop. And maybe it's good that we got away with it against Olympiacos just before this big game against Spurs. It's not that big a game for African, but this game against Spurs. And then we've got the second leg. So we've got a bit of time. So we can maybe afford. I personally would like to play Gabriel again, to be honest with you. I think he's a beast, and I like him in the air. Mari is tall as well. That's where Kane always gets us, is in the air, isn't it? Let's be honest. He's always hanging off someone's shoulder or a fullback like Bellerin or Luis in the middle. He always catches somebody out. So I want a bit of height in there. So
he's just a good all-round player. I think header on the floor, whatever it is, he's just really dangerous. You can't give him any lick of anything because he'll take that opportunity, and he loves to score against us. And obviously, we know that he's an Arsenal fan, right? So,
you know what? African good. You know what it is now with Kane. Obviously, he's adapted his game slightly more this season.
Yeah.
So he's not even. Yes, he's got a amount of goals he's got, but look at the goal he scored the other day. But yeah, he's adapted his game. So
he's injured, boys. He's injured. Did you see the ice pack yesterday?
Come
on, man. He's
mind
injured.
games, guys.
Come on.
But I think we're also not talking about the other players. It's not just Harry Kane, right? I think Son is a world-class player, such a good player. I'd take him in our team any single day of the week. And I think Gareth Bale has started to find form again. And I think he's play against us. We got to worry about him as well because he's a good player too, man. So, again, you got to look at the bigger picture. But you know what? I want to quantify how important I think this game is, because I think maybe people are misinterpreting. I think this game is a 7 out of 10 in terms of importance. Still very important, 7 out of 10. I think for me, a final or something like that is a 9 or a 10 out of 10, right? So I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 game, but of course 7 out of 10. I think that puts it into more perspective. Maybe I wasn't communicating. Of course, I think it's important, but I'd give it a 7 out of 10 importance for me.
Please come back next Friday. I will have the tweets that he puts out on my screenshots. And we will be discussing them on next Friday's show, where the calm African Gooner, how calm he was throughout that game. I might even throw in the Europa ones for you as well. They're the ones you really want to look out for.
Well,
so, go on.
Well, it's going to be calm on Thursday. Olympiacos have to score 4 goals, man. And
if they score first, you're going to go. You're going to go.
Yeah, man. If they score 2 goals, we're in trouble. I think everyone is going to start shedding bricks if they score 2 goals, because it's only Arsenal that can manifest something like that, where they have a comeback and we end up losing on away goals or something like that. So.
Well, guys, we've been doing this for just over an hour. Victor, I'm sorry, bro. We've been here for an hour. If you came sooner, man, you would have been welcome. And you're always welcome. So come on anytime. Albert, it's been great having you on, brother. I know I'm a little bit sort of all over the place with it all, but it's just my style. So I'm happy you're on, and I hope you enjoyed it. Man. And it's been a pleasure having you on, bro. Come on anytime, yeah?
Thank you.
Anytime. Welcome back next week. African, bro, I hope you get your electricity back. That's my main thing. Guys.
Yeah.
Guys, put some positive thoughts out to someone in South Africa where African Gooner is. Send him some positive electricity energy. Keep it going so we can keep going, bro. But I'm happy you was on, bro. So good to see you. I hope we get a good result.
Always a pleasure. Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, I want us to win. I will cut myself, really, and I don't want to say that, but I'd cut a finger off for us to win, really. That's how much I love this club, right? So
yeah.
Just reducing expectations, because historically we know Mourinho, as Albert says, Mourinho is a master against us. He is a master. I don't know, in my lifetime, I don't know anyone else who does it against us that many times apart from Mourinho. So I'm just going in being conservative instead of really going gung-ho. Regardless
I hear you. I hear that, man. I hear that. Seb, Stato, pleasure having you on. Thank you for coming on. Is he there? Is Seb there? Is he frozen? I think Seb's frozen, or he's pausing really well. I don't know. Anyway, Enrico.
No worries, man. Thank you for having me on again,
bro, man. Always good to have you on, man. And it's been a pleasure. And I hope to see you next week. Victor, I hope to see you next week. This has been Fan Cam. This is the Arsenal Lounge. Follow Albert JTV on his channel. Make sure you subscribe and like and all that shenanigans. Follow African on Twitter, wherever he goes. Keep an eye on him. Enrico will be hopefully on next week. Victor hopefully on next week. Oh, and a final Goodbye
Yeah,
to
thank
Stato Seb, but didn't want to leave you out, bro. So I brought you back. And thank you for coming on. And I hope to see you next week as well. Yeah, guys. So let's hope we get a
Enjoy the
positive
game,
result.
boys.
Yeah,
Enjoy
enjoyed
the
it.
game.
We will, brother.
Absolutely,
We will.
Thanks for having me
absolutely.
on again. And
No.
come on, you Reds. Come on,
Yes,
you
that's right. Love that. Come on, you Reds.
Smash
So
the
that's
like,
us
smash
out.
the like, people.
Smash them likes.
Smash the
and,
like as well, guys.
I never say that stuff. Shaheen's gonna
That's
go
what I'm
mad at
hearing.
me. I know.
And
Thanks, bro.
subscribe
You got
to
me
the
in it.
channel if you
Shaheen's gonna. I'm gonna get a phone call from Shaheen in a minute. Watch, guys. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming. Hope you come on again next week. Peace out. I'm Levan. Just
Peace out. Thank you.